actually just put in on Sunday, but these 2 in back, those have been there for about a week.
Okay.
So what do you think about this tent? So I have my high pressure sodium lights. I usually have a fan going, but I turned it off just for the show because I think that might have contributed to some echoing and some sound issues. But what would you say about the progress in this tent?
Well, you were on with Nate and Averill last week, right?
Yeah, on Sunday was the last time we were on.
So your back corner is already looking a little bit better from the last show, so I think you're on the right track there.
Okay.
You're gonna switch. You're gonna use different style nutrients from veg than you do for flour, so you're gonna be looking to feed a little bit more to the P and the K, a little bit less to the N as time goes on. Phosphorus is what gives you those nice chunky blooms. But then, don't forget, and I hate to say it because everybody out there that grows is going to cringe, but CalMag, it's a basic, it's a simple, it's a necessity.
Okay.
But you don't have to go too nuts. I mean, you're looking pretty darn good. Like Averill was saying, soil takes, it takes a while to bounce back. And the worst thing that you can do is see a deficiency and panic and overfeed. So if you think that you're light on something, to go heavy feed 3 days in a row because you think you're going to make it bounce back could go, you tip the scale from one side completely to the other. So light amendments, nothing too crazy. I like to use a simple tea at this stage too. Try to get some sweeteners into that soil.
What do you mean by a tea? I don't think I've ever used a tea.
So I think the easiest way to go about it is you can Google. Google's really easy. You can do a no brew tea, and it's basically just a bunch of microbes and nutrients. You're not necessarily feeding the N, the P, or the K, but you're giving it all the beneficial micronutrients that your soil needs to have bacterial activity. You can have all the food in the world in that soil, but if you don't have a nice biome, like a good bit of biology going on, your plant won't uptake it. So products like fish shit, products like the P31, or I think it's Mammoth does. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to skin the cat. But it's just, you can put food into the soil all day, but if you end up with a low bacterial count and nothing's really churning and burning, you're not going to have uptake.
Okay. I think I've used the fish shit before. I think I've gotten that at as a sample at one of the events.
Yep.
So I have used that. So that's something that's going to help with nutrient uptake, you say. So that's like using one of those teas.
Exactly. I added to a tea. I mean, that product, and I'm not trying to plug anybody. They're good folks, but I'm not trying to sell advertising space until people buy advertising space from Mike. But no, Fish It's a great company, great people, great product. And it just adds bacteria, adds life to the soil, living soil. That's what gives you beautiful plants is soil that's alive.
Okay. Now for this particular plant, would I do some more trimming? I did see as I was just kind of filming across the leaves that some have burnt edges.
When you're early in flower, I don't recommend really taking more than 4 to 6 leaves off per day. Oh yeah, you got some foxtail there.
Yeah.
But you've got healthy growth otherwise. Like the newer, fresher, smaller leaves are looking pretty darn healthy.
Okay. And I even see some trichomes popping up. It's starting to look a little sparkly and a little hairy.
Some sugars, yeah. So right now, as your plant, you said you're like a week or two into flower. As you're making the transition, you don't really want to stress her out too bad. So you can go in and do 4 to 6 leaves a day. Don't do them all in the same spot. Kind of spread it out a little bit. Take the worst ones. And then once you hit week 4 or week 5, that's when I do a heavy defoliar. That's when I go in and start trying to figure out, if the leaf is in direct light, leave it. If the leaf is in shadow, I scrap it.
Oh, okay.
If your solar panels aren't absorbing solar activity, they're just eating up nutrients and energy.
So probably this one in the next week or two will need some trimming. I already see some leaves already, causing a solar panel.
Yeah.
So over the next couple of weeks, so you would suggest only taking like 4 or 5 leaves off, like some of these bigger leaves off at a time, on any given day?
Yeah, you don't want to stress them when they're young. Once they hit a certain point, that's why I say week 4 to week 5, unless they're feminized leaves, if they came from a regular seed line, you don't want to stress her out early. Once you get to a certain point, though, that's when you want to let the plant focus less on building fan leaves and more on building buds. So every little bit of nutrient, like Ava was saying, that root system and the stalk system is a highway. And once you start building many exits, not everybody gets fed as much. So you want to start losing some of those leaves. That way the plant's not trying to repair anything. The plant's not trying to build anything or feed, keep leaves green. It's just trying to build buds. That's nice and thick. You've got good stacking on that. You're gonna get some nice results out of that.
Oh, that makes me so happy that you say that. I mean, I just love getting in here and actually like touching them and breathing on them. I mean, when I don't have the show on, I actually have my music blasting and I'm kind of, dancing around the grow room and, replanting, doing whatever tending I need to.
Positive vibes in the grow area only. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
You do any kind of CO2 supplement?
Only me breathing on it.
Cheap, easy solution. It's called an exhale bag. It's a bag of mushrooms that you hang on the upper part of your tent, and it just basically burps CO2 constantly down over your plants. It's a cheap way to go to get CO2. The trifecta in growing is sunlight, nutrients, CO2. It's the 3 parts to make the engine churn. And if you can get, equal parts CO2, light, and food, you'll see those plants really start to chug along. So just adding a little bit of CO2. Not that it's not like, oh God, you need it. You're never going to grow without it. But CO2 definitely helps those plants get perky and happy.
Okay, and that's just something I can get like at a hydroponic store, right?
Yeah.
Or online. Yeah. Can I actually order that online even? I actually haven't gone to any stores since the pandemic.
I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so a lot of the stuff that I do, I have to order online. I think you've got access to some good grow houses around you, but it's if you ask any of them it's called exhale, like your inhale, exhale.
Okay.
It's called an exhale bag. So that's what I use. It's a cheap way out. They last months, so you can get a full cycle out of it, no sweat. And then afterwards, I'm pretty sure it's just biomass. You can cut the bag open, dump your stuff out in the woods somewhere, because it's just a mushroom living organism, and then recycle the bag.
So you're actually growing mushrooms? Can you eat the mushrooms?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think it's that kind of mushroom. I think it's just a high functioning CO2 creator. But if you're ever interested, I do know a guy out where I live that's doing some really exotic, non-psychoactive food mushrooms, like regular food mushrooms. He's pretty neat. We can talk about that off show sometime.
So what I've been showing right now is the plant that I just put into flower on Sunday, my Tanya plant. It just looks a little, definitely more leggy because I actually pruned her quite a bit. I didn't realize you weren't supposed to lop so much. I was going to only do a little bit, and then I got kind of carried away. But
the more you beat it up, the more you make it bounce back. If it doesn't kill it, it makes it stronger.
Yeah. I mean, going by the fact that it was dead when I had left it back in the grow room, and she's come back this far. I think this is going to be one of my strongest strains, and I can't wait until I start seeing her flower.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's one of the best feelings. I love watching the transition. You know, every week it changes, and it's awesome to at the end of the day stand back and say, you know, I grew that. And when somebody, I don't know how soon we're all going to be able to do it again, but you know, when you're standing in a circle with your friends and you pass something around and somebody goes, "Holy shit, that's delicious," and you get to go,
Right?
yeah, I grew that. That's just something I do. It's an amazing feeling, you know. Um, no, you've got good space and you've got nice area. It's not like it's all tight clumped together. You can expect, I mean, you said leggy, you can expect that thing to almost double in height over the next, you know, 5-6 weeks. You should get
So
40%
should I
of
start,
plant height.
so should I start doing some low stress training and kind of bringing these branches down a little bit with
Yeah.
some ties?
Yep. Just what I try to do is just get an even level. So if you bring the taller guys down to the outside a little bit, you can kind of let the other ones stay up. As long as you have a nice, even flat surface for the light to hit, it should even out your canopy, and you should help spread your growth out evenly.
Okay.
You're not crazy though. I mean, a lot of the times, so when you're in veg is when you should. Oh,
Oh, I don't know what just happened. Sorry.
it's okay. When early in veg is when you want to start training. Um, you know, you're not doing anything wrong by tying it down now, but setting up your structure, the way that the plants are shaped, can happen. You know, when the plant starts off at 8 inches tall, take those first two leaves that split out, tie them down so they're going straight out, and once they're out, they'll start to curl back up, and you'll get a double split on each side. You can then train those two in the opposite direction out, and that's how you can start your nice crown.
Okay, maybe that's a great segue to go into the next tent. So that was just my flower tent. I have more room to grow in there because it's the 4x4. So then I bring you over to the veg, which is actually smaller. It's only a 2x4, so it's kind of crowded in here. But this is probably ones that you're talking about that I had topped a few weeks ago. But are you talking about maybe training these?
Oh, just like that. Just like do that again. Okay, perfect. So if you take some what the hell is it called? It's a metal wire that's wrapped in green rubber, and you can snip lengths of it and curl it around your plant.
Oh, yep. I have some of that. I do.
I blanking on the name.
I can go to my vet.
Like floral wire, I think.
Yeah.
So you want to try to, without splitting the center, you saw how much you can flex it without breaking it. Perfect. Hold those two down, and then as they grow out a little bit more, before they curl, pin them down again so you can get them out almost to the edge of your pot, and then let them curl up. And then you can do the same with every shoot that comes off of them in an opposite direction. And then after a while, you're going to end up shaped literally like this, like a moose's antlers. And that's when you can take some of those ties out, lollipop, clean it all up, and you can see some of the understructure. I'll try to send you some DMs later of some of the crowns, like what I'm talking about. But if you shape it now, it should be ready. You don't have to do as much work in flower.
So this is another one.
Holy shit, you're a pro. Look at that. Look at you.
Well, I wouldn't quite say pro, but I'm a good learner. If I just get the proper direction, then
wherever you tie it down, you go out the length of that stem out towards your leaves, wherever you tie it down, that's where the curve is going to start, because that plant naturally just wants to go up towards light. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Okay.
Now you can see that your light is doing what you want it to do because you've got nice thick growth. When you end up with spacing and length and height, that means that you're not giving enough light in its youth. That's stretching. It's doing great.
Okay, yeah. So these I just recently transplanted into these 5-gallon cloth pots.
Nice.
And then just up on my table, I have some seedlings that I had planted on the full moon. And it's so funny because let me see if the light, I don't know if you can see it. like these were all planted on the same day, but look at how teeny tiny this one is, and it looks a little funky because it's missing a leaf.
That one might have stunted. That might not be doing anything. That could just be sitting there looking green and not growing.
Yeah, I mean, that's my guess anyway, because look at this one.
Yep. Now, are they all the same strain?
No, these are all different. They're all different. I was kind of doing a science experiment. I had some seeds just laying around. Some are old, some are mystery. So I was just messing around, just kind of.
Nothing wrong with that. That's one of the best parts.
And then these are ready to put into 5-gallon pots, but I just don't have any more room in this tent.
You could jump those out of solo cups up to just a half-gallon pot for now. Give them a chance to. Now, Nate always has you the solo cup with the tall girl in the back right there.
This one is in a little teeny tiny cloth pot that I had found in my. I think I was gifted a plant one time in that, so I just reused that pot. But you're talking about this solo cup right here? Is that one?
Yeah, if you give that solo cup a squeeze, if that's feeling rock solid, that means your roots are out to the walls, and you've got to. Yeah, I would definitely, because you don't have to go huge. You just got to give her a little bit more space. So if you have another one of those cloth bags, or I've used gardening like sand pails from the beach, like my kids' little sand.
I have some pots that I can advance that.
Yeah, just to give it, even twice the volume of the soil it's living in, because you don't want to stress them out. You don't have to give them 25 gallons right away, but.
Right. I don't think I'm going to be able to get as big as 25 gallons. I don't have enough room.
Well, you got to have an outdoor space with some sunlight, no?
I do have a lot of outdoor space, but I also have a couple of dogs. And I mean, as far as sun goes, I live in a neighborhood full of oak trees. And even though my yard doesn't have any oak trees, it doesn't have great sunlight. I would have to move my plants around throughout the day. And I have done that before. I actually had them out on my deck. But where I ran into trouble was when rainy season came, and I was uneducated and didn't know how powdery mildew and just rot would affect my whole grow. And that actually turned me off from growing altogether. I was like, nope, I can't do it. It's just like my gardening skills. And, then I just got the bug again. I mean, I was able to do it once. And I think with proper guidance, which, this has been helping me huge, being able to get different opinions and having a Nate and Averill in my back pocket,
Oh yeah, those
my farmers in my pocket, I call them, has been amazing, and I can't wait to see as these get bigger and just grow, and then I can share it with a whole bunch of people, and just sharing this knowledge, that me, a novice, someone who couldn't grow a tomato, can grow some great medicine.
Now imagine that's what you're doing as a novice. There's a lot of people that I bump into, when I'm teaching somebody how to grow, who have amazing vegetable gardens. If you can grow a tomato, you can grow cannabis. I mean, you can literally, the math works from one plant to the next. If you can understand how a plant grows that you're eating, you can understand how a plant grows that you're smoking. And I feel like you could probably grow a tomato. I have faith in you. I feel like you could do that.
Well, you know what? Especially like right now that in between me going to work, because as you know, I'm a nurse. I still do have to show up to work. But on my days that I don't work, I can't do the shopping and the visiting and everything that I've been used to. So to occupy my time, and my son, I have my 14-year-old is still at home out of school, and my husband, we all, are doing more yard work, more stuff around the house. And, I want to get a good garden going outside. And Avril had even suggested to me that, don't have a huge amount of cannabis plants out there. Start with just one. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take one of these plants when it's warm enough. Yeah. So as far as my veg tent goes, you said to transplant this back one as soon as possible.
Those two, the two.
Yeah, this one definitely has more roots than. Yeah, that one I can't flip it upside down because I'm trying to manage the phone as well.
I got you.
But yeah, I know those two were my last two ready to go, but I just didn't have the room in this.
So now,
Jodi and Dan, this is Mike and Eric. So what are the Dan, what do you think are the next steps for Jodi over the next few days?
So I would look into no brew or easy made teas. We can talk about that more off if you want. But finding like a nice tea to work into the soil for the flower tent would be nice. Enzymes for the flower tent and just bacteria, like we were saying, the fish shit. You want to turn that engine up. Oh, and CO2. You want to help that.
The CO2, right?
Really uptake those nutrients that the soil has. One of the biggest things is phosphorus runoff. I mean, you can put all of the phosphorus into that soil that you want, but the plant may not be able to uptake it all without the extra help of like a silica, the fish shit, like we said. Yeah. And then that, your flower tent, 5 or 6 leaves a day per plant from different spots on the plant. Take off the worst looking ones. And then once we hit like week 4, week 5, then you go in and just Edward Scissorhands everything that's down low, come right up the plant and just lose as much of it as you can, and then just leave the top canopy part.
Okay, so that's lollipopping, right? That's a form of high stress.
Lollipopping is kind of before you flip it into flower, but it's the same concept. You're still taking away all the lower stuff that's eating up food and not producing flower.
Okay.
Well, so guys, thank you so much, Jodi. We really appreciate you continuing to let us into your grow room twice a week and get to sort of see how the plants are growing and progressing. And Dan, thank you so much for being today's resident expert for Jodi, so that you could give her some tips and keep her going in the right direction.
Awesome. Thank you for having us. And Dan, I will connect with you behind the scenes so we can get my homework on the way.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have an awesome day.
You too. That was Jodi and Dan. Jodi from Green Nurse on the Grow. We appreciate, we totally appreciate her sharing her grow all the time. And by the way, another great thing about that was that you made something to eat, which was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, brother had to eat. What y'all up to in the comments? What's going on in the comments? Did y'all guess the book yet? I don't think so. Think nobody gonna get that book right.
All right, so as far as the book goes, so I noticed that people figured out that it was Isaac Asimov. That is correct. It is Isaac Asimov. It is.
Somebody got
it is a science fiction. Well, they got the author right. They got. We know it's science fiction. We know it's Isaac Asimov. We know it's 2 words. And I got to tell you, he's one of my favorite authors. It was just so happened to be at a time of my life when I really dug it, and yeah. So you guys keep guessing because we're
keep it a guessing because nobody won yet.
Not yet.
So we need y'all to to keep guessing. Wild Inventions, iRobot, Deep Sea. Dude, I named every 2-word book he wrote. Ooh. Heather says, dude. I named every 2-word book he wrote. You need to tell us the answer, 'cause I got it right. Mad Science is tomorrow's TV. Still on this fantastic voyage. I'm sticking to it. Okay, I will read it when everyone is done guessing. Fantastic voyage. Eric's mic is dying. Says my mic is dying.
What does that mean that it's dying?
Maybe we need to charge it. We need to charge it. Literally, Heather Brown said, like literally everyone. LOL. She said my mic is cutting in and out.
Huh. Is that... Push the bottom in. I don't know. How's that? Is that better?
Is it better? Let me know if my voice is still nice. I give up. You're going to say it, and I've already guessed it. You just missed it. Peace. Is what she said. I know y'all see this. You took that big ass bite. I know y'all seen that shit. Robot Dream. There you go. They said the mic is better now.
Good. Glad it's working. I think it might have been that it was cutting out a little too much because I boosted you up so much so that. So. I'm really
Even
excited.
a few articles and short stories. Messages to me and I'll confirm if someone guessed it. That's what Scotty Too Hottie said.
All right, Scott. Well, just before we...
Lauren said, I haven't had enough coffee for this shit. Lauren, I thought we was your morning cup of joe. I appreciate eating off the mic there, Mike. Melissa says she appreciates you taking a bite off the mic. Because if you would have did it on, she would have had an issue. And we would have had to read off how mean she is.
All right, so we have a really cool...
My sounds look good.
Yeah, well, so Eric actually... Shout out to Eric, who during...
I'm the breakfast sponsor today. I'm the breakfast sponsor.
Eric went and made eggs, and he made me a little bit of ham.
I'm the breakfast sponsor today.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Shout out to the breakfast sponsor.
So, shout out to Eric for making me some breakfast. Scott, the superfan, is going to be pouring through the comments right now to see if anyone actually mentioned the book in the comments and who the first one was. So, but up next, we're about to go to Chef Rodney Lienhart. I think it's Lienhart. I like Lienhart, but it might be Lienhart. He'll let us know. And he's here with Chris Young today, his buddy Chris Young. And Rodney's a chef, author, and mental health advocate. And he's coming on today because he's going to show us how to make some country-style eggs Benedict. And so we are super psyched to go right now live to Chef Rodney Lienhart. Rodney, am I saying your name right?
Yeah, you actually got it, which is strangely weird.
Yeah.
It makes everybody in my past look terrible, and now I know they're just making fun of me.
Well, my last name is Dube, so you can just imagine how that gets butchered all the time.
I thought it was Dube, but I want to tell you that. Well, Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
my grandfather pronounced it Dube. My dad didn't care that people said Doobie because he was self-employed and he relied on, I guess, on people remembering the last name. So people started saying Doobie, and he just. Anyway, we're so psyched that you're here today. You're gonna show us how to make
get
some amazing
down
breakfast.
With the get down.
And you got your buddy Chris with you, and so we're gonna mute our mics so this way we can definitely hear you the best we can. But we'll be here listening, so we'll jump in. But why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Hey, awesome, cool. First and foremost, thanks for having me. Real quick, if you guys don't mind, today is like this woman who raised me, second mom's birthday, Cheryl. Happy birthday, Mom. Also, real quick, today is actually my girlfriend and I's 1 year, so happy 1 year, babe. I remember if you didn't, I went. Moving on. I got my sous chef, Dave, with me, and behind the camera, I got Nick from Chris Stilkin, so CBD, which we're actually going to be using their products here today. As a matter of fact, this is what we're going to be making. This is a simple, very simple country-style Benedict. Anybody who is a foodie, who loves brunch, fucking loves this. The flavors here are just so authentic, and they come through, and they really show and contrast what, Southern cooking was all about. I mean, it was all about flavors. You have to understand that it's in the middle of America. It's an amalgamation of every type of design of cooking just mixed together. I mean, you've got chitlins, which are terrible, if you know what it is, it's terrible, but you can make those taste delicious if you put them in the right shape. So we're going to be kind of showing you guys how to make one of these and how to infuse it today. So let's get right to it. So the first thing you're going to need, obviously, is your plate. Now, a lot of people do a bunch of different designs on things to make it look fancy, and I'm one of those people. So we're just going to do a couple of dots just right down the side just to give it a little bit of depth and some color. Not a big deal, something stupid simple. That's just basic sriracha. And then I actually haven't infused this, but I made my own saffron mango jam that we're going to just put a little bit. I wanted to use peaches, but with the quarantine, it's hard to find specific things. So I just do a little bit of this jam on there for some flavor. Now, the cool thing is with these, I toasted the English muffins, and then I had my cast iron skillet. I had it nice and searing hot. And I threw it on and browned some butter. So that's the coloration you're seeing here. Brown butter, honestly, to me, just tastes better. And find you a good brown butter recipe because you'll use that stuff all day long. Brown butter and bacon fat, that's where it's at. So a little bit like that. And then we're going to take the pan-seared ham, steaks, set them on there like that. And then we're going to take these eggs. Now, as long as you're delicate, you can get them on there. And then here's the fun part. This is the creme de la creme, literally. This is a sriracha lime hollandaise that I've infused with 500 milligrams of Pineapple Express CBD and terpene. It's amazing. I wish you guys could smell it and taste it. It's just amazing. When he brought me that to work with today, I knew I was going to work with something, but he really surprised me and got me on this. Oh, there you go. Look at that. So you're not going to get messed up, but you're going to feel pretty good. I think it's 100 milligrams of CBD is the dosage there. And then a little bit of arugula, just as a garnish. And then we're going to take, this is skunk OG, and then just, boom. Clean your lip up. Always have clean lips. Good life lesson and kitchen story. And there you go. Now, this plate right here, normally for any brunch, just a basic ass brunch, uninfused, you're looking at about $12 to $18, depending on where you live. Crab Benedicts, there's certain things that adjust the price. Automatically, when you infuse something with just CBD, you add $10 to it because it's going to make you fucking great. The fact that, this just goes to show, It's stupid simple. There's a lot of people who are going, to the future of food and doing, molecular gastronomy, which is great. I mean, it's awesome. Who doesn't like, little jelly rolls and Dippin' Dots? It's amazing. But the problem is what's really got, the foundation is just the beautiful art of what food is and the silent language. Now, it's interesting because I've heard a lot of people say on the air that cannabis saved their lives. This is true in my case as well. 5 years ago, I was in despair. I really was. I was an alcoholic. I was drinking about 5.5 of Jameson a night. It wasn't good. I couldn't function. My life was spiraling out of control. So I stopped drinking. Really couldn't just get rid of the shakes and stuff like that. So the doctor put me on everything, like Valium, Prozac, like all kinds of stuff. And finally, he was like, "You just smoke a joint." So in the back of my mind, I was like, "It's illegal. What are you talking about?" So for like a week, I argued with this man silently in front of the mirror. I told him off, Really what happened was I went to my roommate. I was like, "Let me just smoke a joint. Like, I can't drink. I see you guys drinking. Let me smoke a joint." And that's the best sleep that I've had ever. And so it really became a part of my life. And so, and I've grown up cooking with cannabis, and it's amazing what this plant can do, and the far reaches of it. So I'm working a lot with Chris Jillian, to really infuse things like this jam. We're going to have a honey version of this coming out that not only infuses CBD, but it's going to help with allergies and things of that nature. Me suffering from allergies is terrible, and I've noticed that the raw honeys that I'm eating from local source bees, hugely affects how I feel overall, which is absolutely fucking amazing. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be awesome. Also, one more thing I wanted to do, Eric, if you're paying attention, throw a little bit of this jalapeno on it. Way hot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I'd like to turn it over to Nick real quick so he can actually explain a little bit more about it.
Yeah,
Nick,
sure.
If you would. We got some camera. There we go. How's it going, guys?
Hey, Nick. Hey, Chris. How are you?
Nick, not Chris. But yeah. So I've been working with Rodney here for a little over a year now, and really what my company, Chris Jillian, does is we're focused in the cannabinoid space. So a lot of people are going to smoke marijuana with high THC. Other people are looking for CBD, but what a lot of people don't understand is just the wealth of cannabinoids that are out there. There's a ton of research that's going on. So I'm working specifically with Rodney to infuse different cannabinoid profiles for different types of outcomes, really. And obviously him being kind of a well-known chef in Michigan that he is, it's a nice partnership for us both being kind of in that Lansing area.
Oh, that's excellent. And so I think actually, did we try some of your hot sauces here?
No, that's a different company.
I thought one of these. I'm sorry. I thought we had gotten something from you guys with some CBD in it.
No, so with Way Hot Sauce, that's an absolutely different company. We're both all from Lansing, Michigan. However, Chris Jillian and Way Hot Sauce are actually going to work in conjunction with me, and we're going to make a flaming hot habanero honey sauce that's infused CBD. That's going to be an exclusive product for all of us. Everybody's so happy to work together with it. Like, everybody, just where this can go and the people that we can help while enjoying hot sauce and infusing with foods that we all know and love. We think that that's a huge thing, especially, with the dire, quarantine bullshit that's going on with Corona. Everybody just is so anxious and tied up. What is it? Cabin fever. Like, cabin fever sucks. And then when you go outside, you're like, am I going to get in trouble? Like, what's going on? So I love when I have to walk the dog, but at the same time, I'm fat, so I don't love when I have to walk the dog. So it's, I medicate and I'm going to walk the dog, and trees are cool. You know what I mean? So it's really fun. But
and that's great. So you're using you're going to use their CBD in the hot sauce. So you're sort of marrying the products of the two companies together. So that's
absolutely.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
It's not just CBD, right? So today we use CBD, but coming up this year, you're going to see a lot of on the agriculture space. You're going to see a lot of CBG. You're going to see a lot of other cannabinoids, and actually So I'm involved in two different spaces. One is the hemp space, the other one's the legalized marijuana space. And so with that, we kind of have access to all these different cannabinoid profiles. You start mixing those with foods. So for example, one of the cannabinoids that we've been focusing on is THC Delta 8. And that's a nice, you still get high from it, like a Delta 9, but it's more like an up. Like we're calling that kind of like the home office blend, if you will. And so we're going to be playing with a lot of those different things and going to market with a lot of different cannabinoid profiles. Rodney is going to be focusing on the food portion of that.
Okay. Wow, that's great. Yeah, I'm going to put you on camera. We're just coming on camera with you here for a second. Yeah, so that's amazing. So when can we expect that to hit the market?
Yeah, good question. So I'm working with Rodney right now on some flavored creations. And then we have some products that we do today. We do a lot of topicals. Rodney and I are working on what the edible side is going to look like. So this is what we have today on our line of products. So we'll do things like topicals, bath bombs. This is our number one seller right here. This is our infused muscle freeze, which is like it's kind of like an infused icy hot. So we've been working with a lot of athletic departments there. And then one of the things that I wanted to offer up to Disrupt America is we are doing a giveaway of a Mother's Day bath bomb kit. So each one of these has 50 milligrams of CBD isolate in it for a nice relaxing bath if mom's freaking out at home. And then on the regulated market, with our Delta 8 distillate that we've created, we are coming to market with two distinct brands. Jade House is out of California, and then Patriot is one that's been spearheaded all based out of Michigan, which is where we are. And what we're doing there is we are giving 3% of sales back to Michigan veteran communities as part of our thank you.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, that's really exciting. And so, did I catch that right? I don't want to put you on the spot, but are we going to be able to do a giveaway of some bath bombs to?
Absolutely. There you go.
That's awesome. And by the way, those are beautiful. I see bath bombs all the time, including like high-end ones, and they never somehow you made them look really good.
Yeah, and that all of that goes to my wife. She actually hand makes our bath bombs for all of our clients. So although we have our lines, at the end of the day, since we're the ones doing the processing and we're basically working with this material in bulk, effectively what we do is we really work with about 20 different brands right now that we put their label on our stuff that include things like custom bath bombs like that. So this is just kind of this is my wife's talent, and I'm very fortunate to be able to be a benefactor of that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think what we'll do is we'll do a giveaway tomorrow of the bath bombs. So we'll make that our contest for tomorrow.
Perfect.
Well,
and we'll get you some images on that.
Yeah, no, that would be great. Yeah, we'd love to definitely get your logo so we can flash it up there, and we'll make sure that Scott, the superfan out here, is putting the URL for your CBD company in the comments so that people can, and we'll pin it to the top there so that folks can go and check it out.
Perfect.
Yeah, we really appreciate the time that you and Rodney spent with us. Rodney, that meal looked amazing, and I think putting the hot sauce on it definitely made Eric.
Yeah.
Definitely got him.
Yeah.
You dropping those off?
Yeah.
Like I was telling you guys, if you once this quarantine lifts and shit, I got no problem with coming to Beantown and cooking for you guys.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I mean,
yeah, that would be awesome.
Not a problem. I mean,
totally making me hungry. What's that?
I said I'm all about food, man. That's what I do. I grew up in the kitchen. 7 years old, my mom asked me, she goes, "Do you want to work in the kitchen or do you want a babysitter?" And I picked the kitchen. Little did I know it was a 10-year, sentence really, but hey, I learned a lot of good things, been through a lot of good shit, and I really have a passion for food and a passion for cannabis, and we need that again in the world. We need someone, kind of like, hey, check it out, that's cool, but this is really, let's break it down and keep it simple. Let's not overcomplicate it. And I'm huge all about community, huge about community. And the cool thing is, it's interesting because Nick's wife, Amanda, and my girlfriend Beth and I were all from the same class. We graduated from the same high school. So it really is a tight-knit community. Never in a million years, if you would have told me when I was started out cooking that I would be cooking cannabis, I would have I mean, isn't that illegal? You know what I mean? And just the leaps and bounds that it's made, it heals people, man. So does smoke. You know, that's the thing. They're both final languages that when if you're mad at somebody and you smoke with them, chances are you're going to work it out. Or if you're mad at somebody and you eat with them, chances are you're going to work it out. And it's known across all languages across the world. I mean, come on, it's buried with the pharaohs in England, or in Egypt. But, I just said that I was watching that thing where they were like digging up Shakespeare's stuff and whatever. Anyway, that was cool. I don't know, that's how I watched it. But thanks for having me on, guys. Like, that was amazing. Hopefully we can do this again. Like, I wouldn't have an issue just keeping you guys up on some recipes and some ideas that I come up with. I fucking learn.
Yeah, and by the way, you picked an amazing first dish to make because I'm a big hollandaise sauce fan. If my intern could not call me during the show, that would be
yeah.
That would
I
be
don't know if
fucking
that's
amazing.
me or you.
No, it's totally me. For some reason, he's
It's all right.
should be watching the show. He should be
Like,
watching the show,
yeah.
not interrupting it.
If you guys want to kick me, anybody out there, if you guys want to kick me some recipes, I'd love a good challenge. Like, let me know. Like, I just picked up the Mastering the French Art of Cooking from Julia Childs, and I'm probably gonna do some stuff out of that. Like, that'd be pretty gnarly. Like, I want to take what she did and what she kind of brought to the table and infuse weed with it, because that's Gucci right there, man. You know what I mean? That's just how it's done. Like, let's take some old school shit, man. I love old school.
Yeah, for sure, and we definitely enjoyed the even the infusion part, because it's sort of it's not just the normal cooking thing, and obviously people who don't want to infuse their food can still follow the recipe. They don't need to infuse. They don't need to infuse portions if they don't want to, but it's really cool that you're showing us how you can do that in a cool, awesome breakfast. And I'm a big breakfast fan anyway, so. But Rodney, we really appreciate all of you guys coming together today to cook us something really cool, and we can't wait for you to.
And I love the hot sauces too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's been and we definitely got some. We got a whole bunch over here that he's been
that
dipping
jalapeno,
into.
the one that I was telling you about. This jalapeno was the really good one. That literally is just on fucking everything. I put it just butter and toast, man. That shit's baller. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm almost out of the habanero.
Yeah, he's halfway through the habanero already.
Oh man, yeah, I made you sweat. I told you I'd make you sweat, man. That's just good. I tried it. I was like, it's got that heat, it's got the Scoville, it's got the flavor. I'll work with this. And then as soon as I said that, when I met with Dave, the owner, his face just lit up, and you can just feel that energy. You know what I'm saying? You were like, dude, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Let's put Lansing on the map, man. That's what we're doing, man. That's what
Man, you got to make me an ambassador for your hot sauce.
Shit. All right. I think we can work that out. Then we worked it out. Because he was, when I told him who you were, he was just like, wait. No. I was like, yeah. And so I sent him Disruptive Air. I've been sharing you guys stuff all over. Like, this is my morning routine now, guys. I don't think you understand. Like, I listen to this, spark up a joint, grab my cup of coffee, and start writing my art like that.
Oh, yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
and we see you check in too.
Yeah, and Rodney, and you and a bunch of the other folks that we see in the comments, you guys probably don't realize that you've become part of our morning routine also, and he especially verbalizes when people don't show up for a few days that we're used to seeing. He totally notices, and it's really interesting because a lot of people out there think they thank us all the time for getting up every day and doing this show and stuff, but really it's kind of like an everyone thing. Just because we're the ones that get up with a light on us and hold a microphone and stuff, it's really all of us that are kind of in this together in a way, right? And because for us, if we were doing this and nobody was watching, if we were doing this and you weren't watching every day and everyone else wasn't watching, there would be no reason for us to do it. So we really appreciate you, and we appreciate you anyway coming every day, but we definitely appreciate all of you guys getting together today to just kind of help to make the show really cool and keep it kind of fresh and different and give people different, and people love the cooking stuff. So we really appreciate all the hard work that you guys put into prep. We know that it took a lot of prep and work, and it's not we don't take it lightly. So we really appreciate you, Rodney. You got to give yourself credit there too, man. Your buddy from the 3 Letter Network yesterday,
was saying, cool cars, by the way. I was just like, okay, cool, right? Like you said, being a producer, man, what you guys are doing, it's a thankless job. So really, you should be making sure that you take credit for yourself, because here's the thing: without what you're doing, we wouldn't be able to do that. So it's a real huge community that we're building here, and I think that kind of love, that kind of positivity is something that everyone as a community is going to need to move forward into the uncertain times that we have ahead. And that's always been my message. As soon as I became sober, I just woke up and thought and was like, well, can't be an asshole anymore. You know what I mean? And that's, you worked in my kitchen, you know what I'm saying? I'm very chill. I'm just like, dude, it's cool, but let's do it this way. I don't believe in screaming. I don't believe in yelling, because that doesn't help anything. We work together. We were making that one special. I don't remember what it was, but I kept breaking the sauce, and you were just like, come on, chef. Like, damn, hurry up. And I was like, I'm learning. You know what I mean? Leave me alone. Do the new stuff you've never done. And the problem was I was putting too much hot sauce and kept breaking vinegar content. But we learned it and made it work. And that's progress. That's learning and growing. And again, thank you guys for having us on. Thank you for doing what you do. Let's make this go worldwide. Let's go international with it. This kind of message, it's got to be put out there. You know what I mean? But do excuse the quarantine beer. Like, if there's any time to get away with it, it's now. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, thank you guys so much for what you did.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you, Rodney. And we definitely want to have you guys back on again to cook us some more cool stuff. We appreciate you. We appreciate the food, delicious food that you prepared for us today. We shared the recipe while you were doing it, so folks,
awesome.
If they need to go back and look at, we had the whole thing up there while you were making it. And we just appreciate the time that all of you spent, and we're looking forward to that CBD infused hot sauce for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll make sure I get you guys one of the prototypes or something.
Oh yeah.
Awesome, and we can't wait to have you back on again to cook us, do some more cooking for us. We really appreciate it.
All right, well, we'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. Man.
All right, thanks, Rodney, and thanks everyone over. And Rodney, I may have gotten some folks' names. I don't think on the screen I did, but tell us the name of your sous chef.
This is David. Hello. Yeah.
Hi, David.
David Ellis. David Ellis. Yeah.
And then behind the camera is Chris Young. Is that correct?
No, it's Nick Young.
All right. Well, somehow I thought I copied and pasted everything, but apparently I didn't. So when we segment this out, we'll definitely get Nick's name right. And I did hear you say Nick, and for some reason I put Chris in my head. So, Nick, don't worry about it. We're going to segment this out, and your name's going to be perfect on the thing, so it won't be screwed up. But guys, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll have you back on soon. We appreciate you guys.
All right, man. Thanks. Have a good one, guys.
All right, man.
All right. I love Kush Room. Those guys were awesome, and Nick, I'm sorry about the getting your name wrong on screen. I don't know how I did that. I really thought I had copied and pasted, but I'm sure it's my fault. And we'll fix it in post. We'll release your clip for you, and we'll make sure your name is up there correct.
Always a shout out to Mike and Eric. That should be our thing. Tie and ball. Get the name of our show.
Tie and ball, or ball and tie. Tie and ball. Ball and tie. I don't know.
Suit and ball.
Yeah, we really appreciate Rodney for coming on, and we really appreciate Cheryl and Andrew Mutty.
Thank you, Cheryl.
And all the folks that came on. And so Cheryl earlier she messaged me after she got off. Cheryl, I realized that your story deserved more time than what we were going to be able to give today, because we had already been on with you for a few minutes, and we were running late, which is my fault.
12:30.
So I just want, rather than get through part of it and rush you through it, I just wanted to give you the chance to come back.
Make sure you got your own time.
That's right.
So you can go as long as... That's right.
All right.
Hey, when Mike say that, you know. That's right.
That's right. I think because we haven't had enough push room today.
Oh.
If anyone, I don't know. I'm sure sure I would get tired of it, but I could.
We've come.
Yeah, that was a great recipe by Rodney, and Rodney's awesome.
To the
Appreciate him. And
end
Nick, I'm sorry that you know what it is like Nick the intern.
of the show.
Oh, we didn't tell who won.
We didn't tell who won, but we gotta go.
Eric's like, hurry the bleep up. By the way, I'm gonna have
It's
a bleep button. I'm gonna
12:38.
have a bleep button for you tomorrow.
So we
I am
can
so
say.
excited. I am so excited.
No, what you should do is the SpongeBob one where every time they cuss, it's like a Barnum. What's that sound? It's like a dolphin sound. Yeah, we gotta do that. That'd
All right,
be
we
better.
can get that one.
That'd be better.
And then I'm gonna get stuff that like, you're gonna have as soon as I stayed up half the night and I didn't finish setting stuff up. I'm gonna set up. You are gonna start having so much fun with the show. You're gonna be waking up being like, "Yo, Mike, hurry up and get up and get ready because we gotta start this show." Because you're gonna have the comments and then you're gonna have Scott's like finish the contest first. Scott's like, no. All right, so
who won?
So today's contest. By the way, we give away.
And
we give away something free
winner.
every day, so make sure you come back because tomorrow's going to be those awesome CBD bath bombs, which look really cool.
And I'll be having one
50% tax.
Because I like taking baths and soaking this chocolate.
So today's contest, much to Beantown chagrin, because they finally just mailed out the other stuff, is going to be a Beantown Greentown t-shirt. I would suggest you go for the one that's too big as opposed to maybe a little too small. It's probably might shrink a little bit. Yeah, we love you, Lori. And all you other folks. I like that Lori pasted.
Lori is
pictures.
all over the
pasted
comments.
pictures.
She's so loyal.
So it was my favorite author. It was somebody from when I was younger. It was science fiction. It was a 2-word title. We figured out that it was Isaac Asimov was the author.
It was Isaac.
And so my favorite book out of all of his books, and by the way, I've read just about all of them, is Second Foundation.
Second Foundation.
So whoever said Second Foundation first.
Whoever said it first is gonna win a shirt. Ooh.
That deserves a little cushion transition.
Whoever said it first is gonna win a shirt. Ooh, ooh. Let us know who said it first.
Yeah, so Scott's gonna look it up real quick.
Heather Brown said she did.
Well, we know some people definitely said like all of them. There was a few people that went through all of them.
Laura said,
but it's gonna matter.
I said that.
I bet she did. Oh, Scott messaged us. All right, so now we're gonna look.
Scotty Too Hottie got the winner on deck.
You know what? Someday I fear is that Scott's gonna mess up who won, and then people are gonna riot. Yeah, Lori, I bet you did say the whole series. I've read the whole series more than once.
And now let's tell our winner. Oh, we know.
By the way, do you see what I'm highlighting here?
Yes.
So.
And the winner is...
I'm going to let you announce it.
Heather Marie Brown.
Heather Marie Brown has won again. Heather Marie Brown is one of our super fans for sure. And by the way, just for all you other top fans out there,
Laura, you came in a close second. Ooh. You were so close, yet so far away. I'm sorry to say. Yeah. But that's okay, 'cause you got tomorrow to win another prize. Ooh, y'all love my voice 'cause ain't nobody left yet. That's crazy. We still got 26 people watching. Dang, y'all really like my voice and all I do is smoke all day.
They are here for you, and they're here
That's crazy.
for Kush Room.
They here for me, and they here to get that tie off of you.
I know what you're talking about. I went outside.
Oh, you know what I'm
for a
talking
second, my hair
about.
went
There's a lot of people
wild.
in the comments trying to get that tie off, boy. They trying to get it off. But on that note, guess what? We've come to the end of the show. And guess what? We don't want to talk to y'all no more. And I'm not going to give y'all these vocals no more. Because we don't want to talk to y'all. And this is the end of the show.